As we have discussions about sustainability and the impact of human activity on the environment throughout this class, it's important to keep in mind environmental equity and issues pertaining to how resources and consumption are distributed across the people of the earth. Not all people across the globe are equal in their consumption, and therefore not all people are equal in their impact. In fact, rich industrialized countries account for hugely disproportionate amount of the consumption on the Earth's resources. On average, 75% of the consumption of the Earth's resources come from just 20% of the population. In this figure, you can see the breakdown of some of the numbers. 24% of the world's population uses 92% of the cars, 86% of the copper and aluminum, 81% of the paper, 80% of the iron and steel, 60% of the artificial fertilizer, etc. As a thought experiment, I'd like you to consider what would happen if the entire world was consuming at levels comparable to the rich industrialized 20%. As you can imagine, the impact on the Earth's resources would be devastating. But nonetheless, this is the direction that things are headed, as many of the world's most populous developing countries like China, India, and Brazil are catching up by moving into industrialization at a rapid pace. And on the one hand, it is perfectly understandable for them to do so, because with industrialization often comes higher standards of living. On the other hand, the belt needs to be tightened somewhere when it comes to resource consumption to ensure that future generations will be able to thrive as well. Will we be able to innovate our way into needing fewer resources? And if not, who will be responsible for consuming less? I don't have an answer to this question, and really nobody does. Environmental equity is an area of much debate, and the international community is nowhere near to resolving the question of how much consumption of resources should be divided and how the burden of environmental impact distributed across the human population.